feels awesome to be back from the conference. Being around all these creative people asking really cool research questions just gets me super excited about the research that I'm trying to do. And maybe given that I've talked about snails for so long, it might be surprising to hear that my dissertation research, the actual data that I'm collecting for my PhD, has absolutely nothing to do with snails. And I talked about this in an earlier episode. I don't remember which episode, but I talked about. So I really am at this point where I've got to stop doing all these side projects with snails and everything, and I really need to focus on my dissertation research and making sure I've collected all the data I need so that I can actually get my PhD. This is a vortexer. All it does is mix up stuff. So here's the big question I'm asking for in my PhD. Right now, whenever there's a big oil spill, like the Deepwater Horizon oil spill, people from Fish and Wildlife Service or other surveyors will go out and they'll count the number of dead birds and the number of visibly oiled birds. And they'll base their population damage estimates on those two metrics. All right, there's an oiled bird, there's a dead bird. We're going to extrapolate to predict how much of the population suffered from this oil spill. But what that doesn't take into account is this bird that looks clean and so isn't considered in the population damage estimate may have ingested or swallowed crude oil either by preening itself, preening oiled feathers, or consuming contaminated prey. And so my research question is that bird that from all appearances looks fine, it's not oiled or dead, but is it actually healthy? So Fish and Wildlife Service has given out grants in the past. I don't currently have one because there's not a lot of funding available for scientific research right now. But in the past, Fish and Wildlife Services have given out these grants, and some researchers have collected data showing that the ingestion of crude oil actually damages the red blood cells of birds, which is potentially problematic because these red blood cells are the cells that transport oxygen to all the different tissues in the body. So my question is, if these red blood cells are being affected by crude oil, is that impacting a bird's ability to migrate? Is it impacting their behaviors? Is it impacting their ability to reproduce? And I just want to note, I've said this before, the reason I do research is not because I want to totally get rid of natural gas and crude oil extraction. That's not at all my intention. But I do feel like in order to be a responsible society, if we are extracting these things from the environment and there's a potential risk to wildlife, we need to understand what that risk is so that we're better prepared to respond to a catastrophe like the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. This is by far the creepiest room in the building. It used to be an old darkroom, but I mean, who develops photos anymore? Instead, we have a plate reader. So today, I've taken blood out of these birds and I've actually exposed the blood directly to crude oil. And right now, I'm trying to optimize these different assays or these different tests to see if direct exposure to crude oil is impacting the red blood cells' integrity. And unfortunately, there's something funky going on with this assay. So I'm gonna have to tweak some of the parameters to hopefully get it to work a little bit better. So much of doing research is just waking up the next day and giving it another shot. Hey guys, thanks for watching this week's episode of Shaky Cam Science. If you get a second, go to my YouTube channel, Shaky Cam Science, all one word, link above, and hit subscribe. It helps me out a ton. It lets me show that people are watching these videos, that they enjoy watching these videos. And there's something else. If you have a question about some of the science I was doing today and want to know more specifics, leave a question in the comments section below and I'll be happy to give more details. All right, yos, catch you next week.